Welcome to Comically Comics, your one-stop listen to all things comics. We're talking books, movies, TV shows, video games, and more. I must forewarn you, though, we are a spoilercast, and what that means is we consider all properties, past, future, and present, to be valid, and we will spoil the hell out of them. I'm your host, Michael, along with my two co-hosts, Richard and Jeremy, and with all that being said, let's get started. All right, it is Sunday, January 7th, and we are back to a new year, new us. Same old shit, though.
Yes. The self-proclaimed Three Stooges of the comic book community.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. Yes. I wish there was no like trademark or something with that Three Stooges song. I would so want that as like our theme. that da 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 da. That'd be great.
I'll look into it, but yeah, it's probably copyrighted.
Yeah, probably.
I was gonna say Mickey Mouse just entered public domain. Well, Steamboat Willie did.
Yeah, Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie, not Mickey Mouse proper or whatever. But yeah, so have fun with that. Make whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of hentai Mickey Mouse stuff going on.
So I don't know why this popped in my head, just because of thinking about Mickey Mouse. And you remember that game I told you about, Disney Speedstorm, where it's like the Disney's version of Mario Kart kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was a point, and I mentioned the next season was going to be Aladdin. And Michael had said something that basically, if they don't do him riding on a carpet, then what's the point of it?
Right.
Well, one of his abilities is he's riding on a carpet.
Oh,
No, that's bullshit. No, he should be riding on the carpet the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I can understand that. But
anyway.
I was to say, at least they get some points that they had the carpet in there.
Yes.
Half a point.
Yes. Oh, that's being generous, though.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. Cool. Well, speaking of Mickey Mouse, we've got things on Disney Plus to review. They dropped What If, an episode a day from the 21st to the 30th or something like that. No, it was later than that.
22nd.
20. Yeah. Good number, by the way.
Yeah, what if they decided to drop all that shit and fuck up our schedule totally during our holiday break?
Right.
Think you're going to take a break? Nope.
Right. I do apologize out there that I did not mention anything about us taking a break. I had intentions on possibly doing something solo and did not fall through with others at all. So, but we're back. We're off break now. So y'all have y'all's Monday goodness now.
Yes.
Until we decide to take another break.
Yeah, exactly. You can listen to us whisper sweet nothings into your ear.
Let's get into this What If. We're going to do episodes 1, 2, and 3 today in that order as well. What's y'all's whelming so far of this? Did y'all just watch 1, 2, or 3? Have y'all seen the whole thing yet?
I just did 1, 2, and 3 so far.
Yeah. I wanted to watch them as they were coming out, but I had the flu during all that, so I just did not give a shit about doing anything. And and my wife isn't very too keen on watching them for some reason. She liked last season, but for some reason she's not too keen on watching them. So I've only seen 1 through 3 because I didn't want to have it completely and totally spoiled for me.
That's my wife doesn't watch the cartoon stuff either with me. But that's when I get a chance to watch the stuff with my son. So I'm that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's like I forgot about What If because I was off work and everything during that time, and it was Prime just there. I could just watch.
Right.
That's easily digestible 27-minute episodes.
Yeah.
So I just forgot. But I've watched up to episode 6, episode 7, something like that. So just trying to get them in and whatnot. And yeah. So what is y'all's whelmings then so far of this 1, 2, and 3?
Mine is, I'll say pleasantly whelmed, but it's, I guess, probably to the lower end of it. I enjoy the What If series for the most part, but yeah, I'd say pleasantly whelmed.
All right.
That's
Richard?
shocking to me because this one had a Christmas episode in it, and you fucking love Christmas.
Yeah. Which I mean, we'll get to that, but yeah.
No, go ahead.
I did like hearing like how they were throwing in some of the Christmas songs into that episode and everything. Like that was fun, but yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of a weird take on that one.
I kind of listed my whelms for each episode, but the first one I was pleasantly whelmed, almost overly whelmed, because it was very Blade Runner, and I fucking love Blade Runner. 2, I could take it or leave it. I said I was whelmed by it. And then the third one, I was just pleasantly whelmed because I like Die Hard, and it was just doing like Die Hard, but with the Avengers essentially, or with Happy.
Yeah. So in fact, one of my notes was, is this like, I've never seen Blade Runner, and I know you're like gasping
why?
now.
Yeah, why?
Right.
It's so good. Well, I take that back. It's not for everybody. A lot of people say like, oh, it's boring, and it is. It's like a slow burn, like hard sci-fi movie, but I like it a lot. It's even 2049 is like even better, I think. But anyway, sorry.
I don't do 80s movies. There's very seldom 80 movies that I'm like, oh, I like that. Like, I just don't like 80s. I don't like 80s in general. Like, the only thing good to me that came out of the 80s was like when I was born.
Thought that was like your favorite rock era.
No. No, absolutely not. No, the music is, oh my God. I appreciate it for what it did to like music now, but no, listening to 80s music is horrendous to me. Absolutely horrendous.
You're a big 90s guy, right? 90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be more 90s.
Oh, really? I was joking. I was thinking of like Savage Garden and fucking, I don't know, NSYNC and Britney Spears, like the early 2000s.
Oh, no, I'm thinking like, no, I'm sorry. I was thinking like grunge.
Oh, okay.
Like that's the kind of stuff that I first started. Like when I was choosing my own music to listen to, like grunge was one of the first ones. And then like Bone Thugs and Harmony and Tupac. Like I was listening to that. So
yeah.
Nice little mix there of like.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, I had the Blade Runner thing as a note. I asked, is this supposed to be Blade Runner? Just because I've seen other spoofs on TV shows. And this kind of reminded me of like Bob's Burgers version of Blade Runner. So I was like, okay, that's probably what this is supposed to be.
There were some scenes that were like almost like shot for like a replication of like Blade Runner. Like the way those like cop cars, the Nova cop cars, like are designed, and like the shot of them like flying up with like the cityscape in the background, like that is just ripped out of a scene from Blade Runner. So it was definitely like heavy-handed with the homage to Blade Runner.
I feel like there was a lot of like heavy homages like in these episodes to either like things they were coming off of, or because you were saying, Die Hard, another movie that I've not seen. And I know that there's the
How have you never seen Die Hard?
Man, I don't know. I'm lucky that way, I guess. I don't know. But I know that like there's that meme of Bruce Willis in the air ducts, and so that was what Happy was supposed to be homaging or whatever.
Yeah, like that. That one was so heavy-handed with the Die Hard. Like, anyway, when we talk about that episode, like the villain in the movie or in the episode is straight up doing like Hans Gruber, like or at least his version of Hans Gruber in the movie. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking about that episode. I'll let you get back to what you were saying.
So, with all that being said, I'm totally underwhelmed so far with what I've seen.
Aww.
Everything. Absolutely everything that I've seen.
I feel like we're going to be wearing out that sound effect just in the first episode.
I'm so sad.
Totally underwhelmed. Like, we'll just start with this episode 1. And I did not write. Is it what if Nebula had joined the Nova Corps? Is that what this was called?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what if Nebula joined the Nova Corps?
So, yeah, I don't get the Blade Runner references, because I've never seen it. And the story itself, I just like, it's Ronan beat Thanos.
Yeah.
Nebula was found by the Nova Corps. Xander is in lockdown behind a shield from the threat of Ronan. I don't give a fuck, honestly. Like, I just really don't give a fuck, man.
Oh, man. I really liked the episode, but I was like, how does Ronan beat Thanos? Like, I'm sorry, but in what world, even with the Power Stone, like, in what world does Ronan body Thanos? Like, that does not fucking happen at all.
I don't know. With the Power Stone, I could see it.
I can. I could eat like Thanos would whoop Ronan. He put a whooping on that man.
Because like when he had like did Thanos give the Power Stone to Ronan?
No, he was supposed to retrieve it and give it back to Thanos because he gets it from the Guardians essentially.
That's right. So maybe I guess he doesn't have the Power Stone at that point in time because
he does. This takes place like I want to say when Ronan gets the Power Stone in Guardians 1, he then I guess tries to take over Xandar, but Xandar puts up that force field and then he just goes and like kills Thanos and Gamora for some reason because she talks about how like Gamora's dead as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, in what world does like Ronan kill Gamora and Thanos? I just don't see that happening. But okay, I'll suspend my disbelief for this story to happen.
I was gonna say the name of the show is What If. But no, I don't know. I've got a few notes. Yon-Rogg, I wanted to go ahead and mention this because this is a character we have not seen in live action or know anything about, but he is from the comic books. And he's basically a Kree warlord.
He was the villain in Captain Marvel.
Oh, that was Jude Law, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing is...
Oh my gosh, okay. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, with a lot of these episodes. Jeffrey Wright, he plays the Watcher. He voices the Watcher. Karen Gillian voiced Nebula. Jude Law voiced Yon-Rogg. Michael Rooker voiced Yondu. Seth Green voiced Howard the Duck. Taika Waititi voiced Korg. Peter Serafinowicz voiced Nova Sol. Who else? Let's see here. Everyone else seems to be just voice actors, but not the actual actors. But anyway, they got a good bit of the returning cast to actually voice those characters that they play in live action.
They did a lot of that for most of the episodes, it looks like so far.
Yeah.
I have noticed that.
Yeah, I think that's really cool that they like last season there was like a few here or there, and then they just got people to do like impressions of those people. But it seems like this time around they're getting the actual like actors. I thought that was neat.
That are left.
Yeah. You were talking about I like that twist. One of my notes was like, I'm not gonna lie, I did not see Yon-Rogg coming in. I thought she was going to get Rocket.
Man, that would have been awesome.
I thought for sure the person she was going to get was going to be Rocket, and then it ended up being Yon-Rogg, and I was like, okay, I didn't see this one coming.
I wouldn't want Rocket to turn on her, but man, I love me some Rocket.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
And I'm so sick of Korg. Like I love him and the way he does things, but like having watched the like I said so far into it now, I'm fucking tired of Korg.
Oh,
I'm tired of him.
Is he in there more?
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh,
yes.
So here's my theory, because I too like I like Taika Waititi. I like Korg. I didn't like Thor 4, but I was even kind of like, you know what? Korg wasn't really necessary for this episode. And I'm like, I think because it's animation and stuff, I was like, I think they made all this before Thor 4 was like so poorly received. And they were like, oh crap, we've got a lot of Korg in this. What do we do? Oh, well, too late.
I will say I did like his little like reminiscent of like the Hulk smash of Loki kind of thing.
Yes.
Whenever he took the two officers and like slammed them both. Like I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. My favorite joke, honestly, is the rock, paper, scissors with Meek, Korg, and Groot, because they are literally the embodiments of rock, paper, and scissors. I thought that was a funny gag.
That was one positive notes out of the whole thing was when they're like, when Howard says, rock, paper, scissors, strap up. Like that was, I was like, yes. Love that.
That's funny.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
He does say that. I forgot about that.
I love Howard the Duck in this. Like, I don't know what it is. I just think he's great. And I love it. You said Seth Green?
Yeah, he does the voice. He does the voice since the first appearance of him in Guardians 1 is that like post-credit stinger.
Okay. I like that. I hope they keep that. I wish they'd go ahead and bring him into the MCU. Do something with him. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
But just nothing like the 80s movie. But
Oh man, we should watch that and review it for an episode.
I'm down. It's one of the 180s movies I've seen.
Oh wow, really?
Which one?
Howard the Duck.
Marvel didn't have like actual properties they could do movies with at the time, and so they had Howard the Duck and I think The Punisher because nobody wanted those properties.
Yep. And I want to say Lucas had a hand in making Howard the Duck, if I'm not mistaken.
I think, yeah, it is a Lucas film, I believe. I believe you're right.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Talking about a horny movie. That's a horny, feathery movie.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. It's awkward in some scenes.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I don't know. This was my favorite episode so far of the three. I really enjoyed it. Again, I like that they brought in. So many people. Like Peter Serafinowicz is Governor Saul, the guy that says,
"What a bunch of a-holes!"
Like that guy from the Guardians movie. I just was not expecting that. So anyway,
the last thing I had was I can't believe Nebula was better at the arrow than Kraglin. Like Kraglin sat there and was with freaking Yondu for however many years.
Yeah.
And Nebula picks it up and right away is just whistling away, killing folks. And I'm like, what is this? What?
I attribute it to that she's a cyborg and she just used it like recordings.
Okay.
Yeah, to mimic.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes way better sense. I like that. Thank you. What were you saying, Jeremy?
I was saying one of the things I thought was interesting. One of my notes was like, Nebula can hold her breath for a very long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
I don't think she breathes, honestly. Like, in all seriousness.
That's what I was wondering. Like,
because
does she actually?
Yeah, like she survived out in space. So I want to say I don't think she breathes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't freeze up.
Yeah. Because she's like mostly robot. And like very few of her is flesh at this point.
Huh.
Yeah, true. And speaking of the arrow, like, is it gone forever now?
In that universe?
I guess.
Till somebody fixes it.
So I don't know. Like, what is the arrow made out of? Because like Nova Prime breaks it like it's a stick.
Yeah.
But then it's able to penetrate through like pretty much anything. I don't know. One of my notes was like, what is up with Yondu's Yaka arrow? Like why it like breaks like a twig, but then if you'll remember, Kraglin like tapes it together and then it works again. Like, I don't know.
Strong head, flimsy shaft.
Oh man.
Also,
all right, y'all got anything else for episode 2?
Yeah, just real quick. Yeah, Ronan, like, they just kill him by like opening the port of the force field and then closing it on him. And I'm like, if it was that easy, why? Like, again, why was he able to kill Thanos? I just thought that was kind of funny. But anyway,
yeah, he just kind of stood there and took it.
Yeah. I thought the look on his face was the funny part because it was like he was determined to get in there, and then it wasn't until the explosions were right up on him that his eyes got big, and then they were gone. And I was like, well, you're pretty slow there, buddy.
It doesn't work when you try to force it.
Oh, we'll be here all night, folks.
Make sure you tip your waitresses.
Dirty jokes galore.
Yeah.
Episode 2?
Episode 2.
Yeah.
Cool. What if Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest heroes? Now, Peter was picked up and actually brought to Ego this time. Yondu didn't have that build up in his heart of, I shouldn't take this kid over there. So this was heartless Yondu, one that everybody thinks he is.
Yeah.
The team of the Avengers that they're talking about consists of Hank Pym, Ant-Man, King T'Chaka, Black Panther, Wendy Larson, Captain Marvel, Bill Foster, Goliath, Black Goliath, however you want to look at him or say him, and Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier. So my favorite part of this episode was the Winter Soldier and like him actually having a story in this. Like that was my favorite part of this whole thing.
What? Did we watch the same episode? That was the weakest shit of that episode. It was just mostly him just like mean mugging. And then he's like, I'm going to go murder a kid. Oh, wait, never mind. I have a, and then the Winter Soldier's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Yeah. This should have been the Christmas episode. Absolutely.
So I haven't like so my main thing was like that I wrote down on this is that I have no idea who half this team is. Like
Who?
and then here exactly. I was like I this is probably supposed to have some kind of effect here with Paul. Like I knew Hank Pym and I knew King T'Chaka, but
How did you know King T'Chaka?
well, because of Black Panther.
All these
But then-
characters are in the movies. Well, okay,
Yeah,
you didn't know
well,
Wendy Lawson.
kind of.
You didn't know
But
Wendy
I
Lawson.
No.
It's
'cause
in
she's
your
the wrong
fucking
one.
movie. It's in the movie that you like the most. It's in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, well,
What's
I'll
so
watch
bad
that.
is I knew Wendy Lawson, but didn't fucking know Jan Robb.
Yeah.
I didn't know Jan Rog either.
Well, Michael, I can understand that because you and I have probably seen that movie once. But the way Jeremy talks about it, he watches it every other Tuesday. Like,
This Taco Tuesday with Captain Marvel.
Or just Brie Wednesday.
Brie.
But yeah, I mean, that's like I watched it however long. It was like 2 years ago whenever I watched it. But so yeah, I didn't remember that whole thing.
Goliath is in, he's played by Lawrence Fishburne. He's in Ant-Man and the Wasp. T'Chaka, obviously, he's the dad of
Yeah.
T'Challa. I'm trying to think of who else is in there. Wendy Lawson, obviously, is Captain Marvel from Captain Marvel. You know,
Ooh, Brie Larson.
yeah, you don't get to say that now. I don't think.
Well, no, it's because I was only focusing on her.
Yeah, whatever. By the way, I love that Ant-Man calls Captain Marvel Space Broad in that episode. I thought that was funny.
Oh, I missed that.
When he's talking about, he's like, we got Catman, whatever. And then he's like, Space Broad. Anyway.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And she started calling him Krusty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which they got like, for that episode, they got Michael Douglas to be Hank Pym, to voice Hank Pym. They got Haley Atwell. They got John Slattery to play Howard Stark, which is one of the versions of Howard Stark in the live action. They got Kurt Russell to be Ego. They got Chris Hemsworth to be Thor. They got Lawrence Fishburne to be Goliath. They got Sebastian Stan to be Bucky. And they even got, I don't know how to say his name, Atandwa Khani, which is the guy that plays young T'Chaka in the MCU.
Okay.
So, like, they even got the actress Madeline McGraw, who plays young Hope Van Dyne, both in the live action movie and in this, like, for the voiceover. So, anyway, I just thought that was,
Oh, wow.
yeah, they went all out, like, trying to get the actual actors who played them in live action to voice them in these cartoons.
That's deep cuts.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have saved a little money, I guess. Well, let's be honest. She probably didn't cost them that much. I just felt like this was Guardians 2 all over again, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
It was just a lot of the same, like even the same lines and stuff like that. You know how we were talking about earlier, a lot of these shows were paying homage to different things. I felt like this was just Guardians 2 all over again, because even like as we get close to the end of the episode, when it's Peter versus Ego, he like was like, you know, dropping the bomb on Peter that, you know, yeah, I had to kill your mom. Like, that's just how it is. That's how things was. Like, that whole conversation and everything.
Yeah.
At the end was very reminiscent of Guardians 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, what? We're just hashing out the show and the movie in an earlier timeline. Like, that's, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. I thought the same thing, is like the lines were almost word for word from Guardians 2, at least in that reveal, but the rest didn't feel like Guardians to me. It felt like they were just doing an Avengers, but with a different crew. I think the weakest thing about this episode, like, is that they tried to cram like an Avengers movie into 30 minutes. Um, and that was probably the weakest thing. Yeah, I like T'Challa is talking with Ant-Man when they're like sort of assembling everybody, or not T'Challa. T'Chaka is talking with Ant-Man, and he's like, "Yeah, my father even sent some vibranium over." No, excuse me, he's not talking with Ant-Man. It's Howard Stark.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, my father sent some vibranium to you. How is that going?" Or whatever. He's like, "Oh, it's great. We made a shield out of it, but we lost it in the Arctic." I don't know. That shit was really funny to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. And he's like, other than that, it's going great.
Because it's like you hear, oh yeah, we lost that plane that cost $50 million to build. It's just, I don't know. It's like that's on par for the government.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that special metal that you have that nobody else in the world has. Yes, thank you so much. We made a shield, which is pretty cool, honestly, because it bounces off of shit and comes back. But the fucker's gone, and we know around abouts, but it's in the Arctic, frozen somewhere. So,
whoops!
Y'all want to go look for it? Y'all got a metal detector for that shit? That'd be great.
My bad.
My bad. That's great. So one of my biggest questions, biggest beefs with this episode was they were frightening Peter with ants, right?
Mm-hmm.
After Peter's like picked up automobiles and all, he's done all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
And ants are chasing him into a funhouse. I'm like, Peter, turn around and incinerate the motherfuckers. Like, you can do this.
He's still just a kid, though. Like, I'll be honest with you. If I had like godlike powers and an army of spiders come at me, I'm still gonna freak the fuck out. And it's in my hair.
Maybe at first, but I think I would realize and be like, wait a second. No. And just, wow. They're all gone.
I kept screaming at my TV about how I'm like, guys, he's a kid. Like, just treat him like a kid. And then eventually they do. And I was just like, thank God, because I'm just like, he's not like this world ending like enemy. He's just a child. Treat him like one.
Well, and I feel like they were trying to give, Hank a redeeming story here. And I'm like, you were not a good dad.
No.
Let's not go down the road of you were a good dad, because he's like giving Wendy shit. He's like, you obviously have no children. No, because she's responsible apparently and has decided not to have kids because she doesn't need any. So you, on the other hand, you got shit to fix. So yeah.
I do like I like the dynamic though that there was a cool moment like with Hope and Peter kind of like talking. Like Hope was really into like the music, like the Walkman thing, and then Peter.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cool dynamic. Like they would have been about the same age, and it's something that we really didn't get to see unless, of course, this What If episode happened. I thought that was a cool, like, I don't know, moment that we would never normally see.
Yeah. Still don't know that I care about it though.
My biggest nitpick though, I have to say, is Ego can just make like copies of himself and move the Earth on Earth. Like that, it's not, Ego can do that on his planet, like on him essentially, but he can't do that to Earth. But I think they needed to just give him that ability so he'd be a threat to the Avengers. And because like the seed didn't technically hatch, so it's the Earth isn't part of him yet. It's still just the Earth.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that was my one complaint about it, when he makes like an army of like copies of himself, and like they're attacking like Goliath and T'Chaka and all that. I'm just like, he can't do this here yet.
So is it because he's a Celestial, and because Celestials, we've seen from the Internals, they sit there and create their own galaxies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So is it because of that?
I don't know. I think it was just they needed him to be. I mean, you could say if that's if you're going down that line of thinking, you could say that because the Earth is like a big egg that's going to hatch a Celestial at some point, that's how he's able to do it. But yeah,
I just say because he's a Celestial. Maybe he created that universe.
Maybe. Who knows? I figured it was what's his face, Arishem the Dick.
Arishem? He took over after Ego died.
No, okay. He's like the replacement.
Yeah. Yeah.
The replacement dick.
The replacement dick. The last note I have is just Peter Kamehameha ego. Like, I just that straight up was like a Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha like fucking ego out of there, which I thought was kind of cool. They even gave him the Kirby crackles, which I think is cool. But anyway,
yeah, because like it was even like did they even do the side view of him, or did he just shoot it?
I don't know if it's a side view. It's more like an angled, like over the shoulder kind of thing with like the camera far back. I guess not over the shoulder, like third person.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I lacked was just doing that side view of like him just standing there, like feet planted, like shooting it or whatever. But yeah, that was pretty cool looking.
Cool. Y'all got anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Awesome. Episode 3 then. What if Happy Hogan saved Christmas? I think this is the one that most everybody was anticipating or excited for because this was going to be released on Christmas Day. And it did have that whole Die Hard feel to it for everybody that's watched Die Hard, which is like everybody but me, apparently. But essentially, yeah, it's happy and Die Hard, apparently.
It really is. It's what if Die Hard, but in the Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
Instead of Nakatomi Plaza, it's Avengers Tower. Instead of Hans Gruber, it's Justin fucking Hammer, which I like. Oh my God. I was so happy to have Sam Rockwell back as Justin Hammer. He's probably my favorite goofy villain. And he goes full hammer, if you will, for this episode. And I just fucking loved every bit of Sam Rockwell in this.
I want him back for Armor Wars.
Yeah,
I want him to be the one that saves that movie.
Yeah, I want him to. Anytime you can put him back in, I'm there for it. I really want him in so much of because he's a very fun and charismatic like villain.
Yes. Yeah. The way he's portrayed by him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the dance animation sucks. Like just in general, the dance animation, anytime that Justin Hammer danced, and he dances a lot in this episode, I think it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but it's very like robot jerky, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
I will agree. Honestly, even last season, what if like the art style and the animation wasn't all that great? I think that was one of my complaints is like it could have been better. And yeah, same for this one. Like the animation isn't great in a lot of scenes. The art style is atrocious, honestly, in this one. I hate the way they designed Happy. His like Hulk form.
Yeah.
It looks so ugly and bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But yeah, I will agree with that.
Question. Was Maria Hill ever Director Hill in the MCU? Like, was that her title in Age of Ultron?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and see it.
In the MCU? No, I don't think so. I don't remember ever being called Director Hill.
I don't remember that either.
Of course, that doesn't really say much, but.
But that was one of my notes was like finally, Director Hill. Like, and they brought Colby Smulders back for that too.
I'm so happy. Like, if this will be her final appearance as Maria Hill. I'm happy that that's the case. Well, it's better than fucking Secret Invasion being the last time.
Yeah, that was just terrible.
She finally made director in an animated film.
The thing that I hate.
I really hope that, I'm sorry, but like on that whole, I really hope that wasn't like her trying to, I don't know. Like, was she okay with being done after that? Like, I would love to know like how she actually feels about her departure from the MCU on that.
She got paid.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. That's why all of them take this job is they want that Marvel money.
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
But she's been on some podcasts and stuff talking about it. I haven't watched them yet, but I think she was a little disappointed with like this is how her character got sent off.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's just a dumb way, and like she's much cooler than just being shot real quick in the middle of the yard or whatever.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
Yeah,
Jeremy, we've talked about it ad nauseum. Secret Invasion and just how of a shit show that is.
So I think I interrupted what you were saying earlier. So go for it.
I don't even remember what I was saying. I'll just talk about this. I liked the references to not just Die Hard, but a lot of like other Christmas movies.
Yeah.
When there's Jingle All the Way, A Christmas Story, The Nutcracker, and maybe Bad Santa. I'm not sure. But with Jingle All the Way, you see Hawkeye and Banner, and there's a bunch of kids fighting over Iron Man doll, which is the Turbo Man
that's
doll.
right.
And if you'll look in the background, I love that there are Hawkeye dolls that no one has bought, so much so that it was 15% off, but there's a slash through it now. It's 25% off. I just thought that was funny. It's like, you know what, dude? Nobody likes you, Booster. Like, anyway, that's literally what I was thinking of.
They
Justin
brought Rainer back for that.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. John Favreau plays Hogan. Kat Dennings plays Darcy. Kobe Smulders is Maria Hill. Sam Rockwell is Justin Hammer. Chris Hemsworth is Thor. Mark Ruffalo is Banner. Jeremy Renner is Barton. And they did not get Robert Downey Jr. as Tony. It's Mick Wingert as Tony, and then Lake Bell as Natasha Romanoff.
Winger.
And then Josh Keaton as Steve Rogers. So they didn't get like Tony and Cap and Black Widow.
While we're talking about this casting here of these most awesome Avengers that we've had, the fuckery that is Captain America in this episode, by the way.
He's an elf.
I just want to say he's an elf. His lines are horrendous. Like his manner, everything about if you didn't know that Tony said, "Oh, I gotta go help Cap out," like you would not know that was Captain America, other than like he's holding the shield. But then
I was about to say the shield was.
Hey, what's that asshole holding the shield?
Like, well, I think that one of the things I was going to say is I think that's supposed to be a reference to Bad Santa. I've never seen that movie, but it felt like it was, because in that movie, like there's this little like black like little person that's like the elf that's going around and helping. What's his name?
Billy Bob Thornton is
Thank you.
Santa Claus.
Yes, Billy Bob Thornton. I couldn't think of his name. Carl from Sling Blade. No.
Yes.
I was about to say, yeah, it's Carl, right? That's his character's name.
Carl Childers.
Yes, I couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say, the reason why I brought that up is because I knew you can do an impression of him. But I think that's a reference to Bad Santa. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it was a reference to Elf. And then, of course, Justin Hammer, when he's talking, he's referencing the Christmas Story, because he's talking about wanting a BB gun for Christmas, which I love. When he's talking about it, he's like, I wanted a BB gun for Christmas and I didn't get one. And you know why? And like someone in the background's like, because you shoot your eye out?
Yes. I wrote that same note down. I love that.
Yeah, I thought this episode was cute. If I going off the whelm meter, I thought this was a cute like Christmas episode.
Meh.
That's what I was waiting.
But I was say, like, I agree on that. Like, it was nice just having like the little references there, here, there of different shows, and like I said, getting the Christmas songs kind of thrown in there in the background sometimes, and yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was just, and I thought like watching Happy turning into the Hulk, like doing that whole thing was great, and like his main one liner of like, "You guys can see me, right?"
Yeah,
like, I thought that was funny coming back through the episode.
So, my favorite part of this episode and favorite character of this episode, and I would love to have much more of her within the MCU, I think she's just great, is Darcy.
Oh, God.
I love Darcy's story to go get these fucking cherries. I think it's awesome. And her way back. It's awesome. And I love it.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I hate Darcy, and she's so obnoxious in this episode.
No, I love
what the
it.
fuck? What are you on? Was it opposite day with you?
No, and then her line, he'll ask, "Have you actually ever had a paying job?" Nope.
That was actually kind of funny when she was like, she Control Alt deleted, and then she's like, I learned this from, I forget, like interning with some IT, like in college or whatever. She's like, have you actually held an actual paying job? That was a funny joke. But
that one Mariah Carey song that everybody plays on repeat. Yes.
She's so fucking obnoxious.
I love her. I think she's great.
Yeah.
There's another reference. You're talking about movies and stuff like that a second ago. The Johnny Fives talking to the the Stark
Short
bots.
Circuit.
Yeah, the Johnny Five. Now, I don't think that's a Christmas movie or anything like that. But
No, it's not. Yeah. I love that Hammer calls Hogan Hulk Hogan. I thought
I did too.
that was a very low hanging fruit, but I just thought that was a really funny moment for him.
Honestly, I thought this movie was like, of course, there's the Die Hard stuff that goes along with it, but this movie reminded me a lot of Age of Ultron, honestly.
Yeah, well, I think it's supposed to take place before Age of Ultron. Like it's right around that time because they had the tower, they had the what do they call it? The Iron Legion, I think it's the name of them.
Yes. Yeah.
But Ultron hadn't quite taken over yet.
But Sam Rockwell plays, or Justin Hammer plays, basically the Ultron of it, where he takes over the bots and has them doing his bidding and stuff like that. Then he winds up getting the Hulkbuster suit and all that jazz. So it just, I don't know, it felt very Age of Ultron to me.
I love that he did the whole like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep kind of move on him still.
Yes, that was another part that reminded me of that too. Yeah.
And then just, of course, like through the whole thing, you got Happy trying to beat him to death and trying to break it and everything. And then Tony just comes in and pushes a button and he just falls apart.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's my favorite moment of this is how Tony defeats him by a press of a button. He just pushes a button and the whole suit just falls apart. And of course, Hammer falls out the window. And it's a shot-for-shot recreation of when Hans falls out of the window in Die Hard. But yeah, there's a bunch of scenes. Happy crawling through the vents, when the elevator scene, instead of there being a dead guy that says, ho, 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 now I have a machine gun. It says, like, let it snow, which I like that. There was Chekhov's confetti arrow, if you will. we saw the confetti arrow, and then it gets used later on. But yeah, there was a lot of Die Hard things that happened in the episode.
I have a question for y'all. You're holding a bottle of liquor and the top part of it gets shot. Are you pouring any of that liquor into a glass?
No, because you're gonna drink glass at that point.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what I was thinking.
First of all, I'm going to clean the piss off my pants because I will at the very least piss my pants. There's no way I'm drinking out of that. No, you might as well drink it from the bottle. Why even pour the glass at that point in time? Like, no.
Yeah, I had the same.
And why does he always want to work with Russians?
Oh, that is a joke with Die Hard. The goons in Die Hard are Russian.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, so it brought me back to Iron Man 2 because he was like, hey, break down this glass for there. And the guy goes, no problem. And I'm like, that was the big thing with Iron Man 2 is he was like, you make robots or whatever. You said no problem. You said no problem. Yeah. And I'm like, looky there.
Yeah.
He's still working with people that say no problem.
Actually, I may have misspoke. I want to say Die Hard, they're German because, Hans is German, but I can't remember maybe the guy's Swedish. Anyway, Bruce Willis kills a guy and then it ends up being the brother of like one of these other guys. I can't remember if he's Russian or Swedish or German or something. I don't know. Anyway, he's very nefarious or nebulous is what nationality he's supposed to be in that. Someone's probably screaming at me when they...
You can leave all your comments on Spotify or on Instagram. You're more than welcome to. Have at it.
Yes, let's have some interaction.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry I cut you off when you were going to respond to my literal shot glass there comments that I was having.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, no, I had the same thought as well. That's so funny. Like when she shoots it and then he just pours it into his glass and starts drinking, I'm like, you're drinking glass now. You're drinking little shards of glass that are going to like cut you open from the inside. What the fuck are you doing?
I guess he was hell-bent on being the Hulk. So.
I guess. Or he just really wanted to drink at that point.
Well, there's plenty back there.
Yeah, if you're at Stark's tower, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about Darcy. I did laugh when she was talking about like, oh, I can be your Reginald Val Johnson, which is the actor's name. Like it's his real world name that plays Al Powell from Die Hard 1 and 2 and Carl Winslow from Family Matters. So anyway, when...
Oh, I know Carl.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, he always plays like a cop. in
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
in every freaking like movie or television show. He's always like a cop. But anyway, he's in Die Hard 1 and 2. And anyway, when she says like, "Oh, I'm your Reginald Val Johnson," he's like, "Really? That's the thing you remember?" It's almost like they weren't allowed legally to say this is Die Hard or something, because they never actually say
Yeah.
Die Hard. They make references to it, but they never actually say it. Anyway,
Well, I'm surprised they got to use John McClane.
yeah.
Yeah, no. That's a pretty spot on.
Right?
There.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what exactly, because they were dancing around just saying like, "Oh, it's Die Hard."
Right.
But anyway,
I don't know. Disney's got enough problems as is. They're like, hey, you need to cut it. Like, hey, no, I don't want any kind of issues right now. Like he's already on us as it is.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't need any other fuck ups.
The last gag that I liked was the replacement AI was named Warner, and then when they activate it, it sounds like Werner Herzog, which is voiced by Ross Marquand, who is from The Walking Dead. I forget what character he plays in The Walking Dead, but he does also a bunch of voices. He's the one that loses his hand and kind of takes like Rick's,
Oh, Aaron.
Aaron, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. He does a lot of voices for the MCU.
Yeah. He does the voice of Warner in that episode.
He did, because what's his name wouldn't come back for Red Skull in
Exactly.
Infinity War.
Mhm.
He played Red Skull, and then he's played somebody else as well. And then he's done several voices in the MCU.
Yeah.
So cool. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
That's not shocking though, but I still didn't know it. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right then. I guess we'll continue on next week then for episodes 4, 5, and 6. Y'all want to? Or if not, I mean, whatever.
Yes, no, I do. It sounds like you don't.
Yeah.
I'll rewatch them again. I haven't made notes yet on it. Maybe, third or fourth time's the charm. Shit, I don't know.
Maybe it'll get better for you.
Yeah. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like the more you watch it, the more you like it. That'd be cool. I'd be good with that.
Well, just keep watching Captain Marvel. I'm sure you'll.
That sounds like you need to keep watching Captain Marvel.
Yeah, apparently.
I misspoke. I had no idea who the fuck Jan Rong was. So I totally missed that. Totally missed it.
It's okay.
Oh, well.
He's a pretty forgettable villain in Captain Marvel. So
I want them to bring some of those villains back though, like Jan Rog and Hammer. Like I want some of these villains that they just kind of like, yeah, we locked them in the bathroom
yeah,
for whenever we may need them. We'll let them out. So
yeah. That was my thing. I think that's why I liked this season so far. Is we're getting to see some of the characters and villains of like, oh yeah, or like Goliath. Like I was like, oh yeah, Goliath's a thing in the MCU. Like he existed.
right.
Which was cool. His like costume kind of invokes both like his original costume plus when Hawkeye was Goliath for a hot second, and then like his other like more modern costume. Anyway, it was kind of cool.
I agree. I didn't like it. I would like to see somebody take up the mantle of Goliath, and not Clint though. I don't want to see that. I want to see somebody new. I don't want to see Clint.
Kate Bishop,
No.
Yep.
No.
the other
No.
Hawkeye.
No. That might be cool. But no. Y'all got anything else?
No.
I'm good.
Jeremy, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Twitch under the handle Night Fury GTO. It's Night with a K. And you can find me here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you even play?
Nope.
Shame, motherfucker! Shame! 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 You got time to play that fucking Disney go-kart fucking game, but you ain't got time to play. I'm gonna spoil the shit out of that game if you don't hurry the fuck up. I've been dying to talk about
I
Spider-Man.
know. I didn't have my
Me and my son
PlayStation
played
for like
Luigi's Haunted Mansion.
Cool.
what? Oh, I gotcha.
As much as I don't play video games or don't have the whatever, my son was like, "Hey, I got this game for Christmas. You want to sit down, have some like father-son time? Come on, let's go, Eddie." Like, how can I tell you no?
Yeah.
Richard, where can they find you at?
If you want to contact me directly, I have an X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram and Threads. My handle is Night Curry, night like day and night, and Curry with a K. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail. Our Gmail is comicallycomicspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics Podcast. And if you want to check us out on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics with an X.
That's great. It's been a while. Ooh, 97's coming out this year.
Yep.
Yes. Talks of Mr. Sinister being in that, as well as somebody else. I can't remember their names now.
I have not heard any of this. This is all spoilers for me.
Executioner.
Oh, cool.
That's what it was. Executioner, Mr. Sinister. Yeah. And then Queen Goblin Queen. Madeline Pryor.
Okay.
Madeline Pryor. Yeah. Because action figures have come out with them. So, anyways, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. You can find me on Instagram and eBay 22_comics, as well as Shortbox. You can also find me on YouTube at 22 Comics, where I will be having my 750 subscriber giveaway when this episode's dropped, like 2 weeks later, on my top 10 alternatives on Monday night. So come out and check that out. I believe it'll be January 29th, if I'm not mistaken. So last Monday of the month of January. Check it out. Come hang out. We're giving away prizes. Woo! Yeah, I'm trying to get better at announcing shit too. So maybe that's a resolution of mine. Anyways, all that being said, say goodbye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy. Bye.
We take 2 weeks off and you forget that shit?
You know my name, but who are you? Just another American who saw too many movies as a child. Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks he's John Wayne, Rambo, Marshall Dillon.
I was always kind of partial to Roy Rogers, actually. I really like those sequin shirts.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.